So I'm going to ask you to watch this video to the end because the points are absolutely valid. And it affects you, it affects me, it affects everybody around us, it affects future generations, it affects what people have fought and given their lives for, which is your freedoms. Your freedoms. But I need to preface this video with 2 points. One, that freedom is indeed not free. It costs quite a bit, actually. And freedom is not security. Freedom is the freedom to be insecure, but the freedom to do other things as well. Freedom has lots of benefits, and don't get me wrong, I agree. Safety has lots of benefits as well. But can you outweigh the benefits of freedom with the benefits of safety? Because that's the point in our lives with this that we are talking about. Freedom is scary. Imagine being the forefathers, knowing that if the American Revolution had failed, then you would surely be hung, if not imprisoned and tortured and then hung and publicly humiliated for sure, and your entire family and lineage would be forever disgraced. Imagine that kind of being scared. And then the other part is, how has freedom in the history of mankind with places that had semblances of freedom been stripped? Well, one, it starts with some sort of an emergency, some sort of something that people can be gathered around as a common enemy. For the Nazis, it was the Jews. And the Nazis also included all the other Axis powers. And throughout history, people have been able to pick one individual or one group of people. They are the ones who are responsible for our poverty. They are the ones that are responsible for this. They are the ones that are responsible for that. Gather around me and help me knock out this foe. But in order to do it, it will only cost you just a little bit of freedom. Just a tiny bit. Just this one thing. And after that, we'll give it back. I promise you we'll give it back. We really will. But they never do, and they always want more freedoms. They're like a monster that can never be filled. The more freedom you feed it and the fatter it gets, the more freedoms that it wants. And here we have a proposed bill that Governor Cuomo is licking his chops over that's going to give him power. Power to detain American citizens. Power to detain, let me say that one more time. Power to detain American citizens without any cause other than suspicion of a possible communicable disease. Any communicable disease, doesn't matter, just pick one out of the sky. What sounds good to you, George? I don't like the way that person looks. Oh, he looked at me kind of weirdly. Hey, I think he might have a cold. I saw him sneezing. Let's detain him at a medical facility until we prove he doesn't have a cold. Do you think he will not be abused? Come back at me in 5 years if this gets into law and tell me that it hasn't been abused. It will. You know it will. I know it will. Everybody watching this knows it will. Everybody knows it will. Cuomo knows it will, and that's what he's banking on. Because he'll be able to use it to take the parts of the city that he has invested hundreds of thousands of dollars out of his $100,000 a year salary. He's the highest paid governor in the United States. And make him poor so he can gobble up real estate at a cheap place. He's already said that this is what he would do. I'm not making this up, people. Cuomo has said that when the rich New Yorkers leave and New York tumbles and falls, that he's going to buy up all the expensive properties for cheap and turn them into whatever it is he wants to turn them into. Now tell me that none of this is just what? None of this makes you perk your ears up at all? Or are you okay with it? Are you just going to sit on your couch and, well, why not? You've given your freedoms away thus far, right? The government shall form no law. The government shall form no law. And that's all I'm going to give you because I want you to research it, because I want you to educate yourself. Google that. The government shall form no law. And what do you get? Well, you get the exact opposite of what we are seeing here. This is not the way America was designed. This is not what the forefathers went and put their lives into danger for freedom versus security in order for us, their descendants, whether by blood or by virtue of being American citizens, benefit from. And what are we squandering? Your freedoms. That's what you're squandering. That's where we're going. Just the fact that we are at a point in America where this bill can even be proposed and be a thing that isn't laughed at, that's an issue. America, you're giving up your freedom. And I'll tell you right now, yeah, those who give up their freedoms in trade for security deserve neither. Benjamin Franklin. Our history can teach us everything about our future. It's a different time, but I'll tell you what, it's the same shit. It's just a different pile. That's it. Anyways, that said, with my opinion out there, I'm asking for your opinions and likes and comments and shares and subscribes, because me and YouTube are in a huge battle, and I can't do much of anything, and I can't progress. So I have decided to totally demonetize my videos. If there's an ad on this video, it is not my doing. It is YouTube profiting off videos that they have shadow banned, and they've shadow banned the crap out of me into pretty much dust. So help me out just a little bit. But I'm going to point out the things that I see wrong, whether YouTube agrees with it or not, because we're in this together. If your freedoms are gone, my freedoms are gone too. If New York's freedoms are gone, your freedoms are next. You stand on the bank and you watch the river flow by. At what point do you look and you say, my toes are getting a little wet here? But the crowd is so far behind you, you can't even back up. It's a little too late now. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys. See you on the next one.